Welcome to the spring edition of the Global Media Project, where we got a chance to speak to some international students about what they thought about Britain. We also got a chance to see the day in the life of a student on the Global Leaders Programme. But first, let's check out the artwork that is flamenco.
What happened was, when I was about 10, I started playing the guitar. Like most people, I was very interested to copy the Beatles and things like that. But my mother sent me for formal training in flamenco to learn, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I started, and by the time I was about 12 or 13, I started playing professionally, mainly accompanying the dancers, yeah, because in England everybody's only interested in the dance, yeah. They don't mind the guitar, but they tend to not like the singing. In Spain it's the exact opposite. The singing is the most important part. One singer can attract a massive crowd, and that's what the people go for. I went also to study in Seville with one of the great maestros, Pepe Martinez, of course dead now, but he's one of the all-time greats. So I travelled to Spain under Franco, in the time of Franco, to learn how to play.
Before I ask you a bit about the culture of flamenco and the way of life, who would you say is the biggest influence for you with the type of music and the way it's been? Who would you say that is for you?
Well, for me, obviously, because I grew up with one particular artist, a guy called Camarón. He's the greatest artist in flamenco itself. So this guy influenced me a lot. When I was at university, I used to try and get him played in discos and things like that. And then he became a legend in Spain. But for all these reasons, he's become an icon of all the gypsy people. You know, his funeral in 1992 attracted over 100,000 people, yeah? Which is an incredible, into a small cemetery. And today he's bigger than ever. You know, they made a kind of a Hollywood biopic film about him. And of course I wrote a book about him, the first book in English. And it's called like In Search of Camarón, because nobody really knows him, yeah? Except for his wife, you know, because he's a man of very few words, but an incredible singer.
And what about the way of life and the culture goes with flamenco then? I mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't know what goes with it. They may have seen the dance, may have seen the music, but what actually is behind it?
Well, the flamenco is held mainly in the hands of a very small number of gypsy families. In Jerez, which is in Cadiz province, they're assimilated into the population. In other parts of Spain there's still a lot of racism, yeah? But the culture is very much an intimate culture, so they will perform in public, but they always have their own things just for themselves. There's a lot of expressions about flamenco. They say lo flamenco, because flamenco is the name of the people, you know. Lo flamenco no comen, solo beben. In other words, they don't eat, they only drink. But this is all rubbish, you know, but these are some of the myths. Another thing that's connected with flamenco is, of course, what English people call bullfighting, because these are all connected. Some gypsy people become guitarists, other people try to become a torero, a bullfighter, you know, and so flamenco and bulls is very, very highly connected.
There's a lot of misconceptions about flamenco, so it's nice to see the truth about both the culture and the origins. We also spoke to some international students about what they like about Britain, or what they won't miss so much.
Hey, can you tell me what you do like about England?
I like that it has so much grass, so much green, and there are like many options in art in England. That's what I love about England.
Okay, what do you think is good about England?
Well, good about England is discipline, mostly. Everything is very disciplined around here.
I like the seasons, the weather really, because originally I'm from Barbados, so we only have one season there. So over here we have, you know, spring, which is my favourite, and then autumn, sort of winter.
I like the education system because it was very a calm procedure for me to get accepted into the university.
Amazing opportunity, great jobs, amazing education system, and everybody's friendly here, everybody has a lot of fun. You get to know people from different cultures.
And different cultures as well is interesting to have.
Yeah,
educational opportunities. I really like that sort of aspect.
So the foods, I'm experiencing a lot of new foods, and I'm pretty much liking all of them. That is another good thing. And well, the most important thing of all is education. Education here is really good.
And very clean.
The healthcare system and all of that, that's real cool.
It's better than Hong Kong, and maybe it's a good city, a good country, especially in London, and people are quite nice in here.
The good thing about this country that I really acknowledge is the people I've met, people from different parts of the world. It's a privilege to meet with people in class.
Good customer service. I love the customer service in UK. Everyone is polite even when they don't want to be, but that's nice.
And what about the not so good things?
Not so good things, well, top is the price. I think everyone will agree with that.
And what about the bad things? Is there anything in general?
Well, the first thing I would say that's bad about this country is the weather.
And what about the not so good things?
Not so good. Again, the weather, maybe, could be a bit warmer.
Really bad weather. You know, it's rainy, cold, windy. Sometimes it's really tricky.
What do I hate about the UK? Winter, the weather, bad weather about the UK. I hate the weather in the UK. It's terrible.
Bad things? Weather sometimes.
The weather.
The weather, it's very bipolar. Like, one day it's hot, one day it's raining, one day it's cold, and I have to wear 2 jeans because I'm not used to this weather because my country is very hot.
There's a little act of racism from some parts of the England, because I've been to places. I've been to Manchester, I've been to London, I've been to Bournemouth. So you get to see different reactions from people of this country.
English people don't have their traditional food, you know. They just copy from everybody. Fish and chips, traditional British. Not really, but it's okay.
It's always fun to see what people think about Britain and why they would come and study here, but you've got to remember the university isn't all about studying. Coventry University actually offer the Global Leaders Programme, which gives students an opportunity to enhance their skills for the working world, and more often than not in the global working world. So they get a chance to go abroad, they also get a chance for people to actually come in and speak to them and just help get their skills really strong to go out there and be leaders in the global scale. We actually got the chance to follow Kwaku, who is on the Global Leaders Programme, and we got to see a day in the life of him.
GLP basically is a global leadership program. The university, the graduate center, they introduced this program so that graduates will really get exposed to what the business world is expecting from graduates. 2 basic things that I took from this program is how to really communicate. As a journalist who have this communication skills, it's really sharpened my communications skills. And also, one thing I've taken from it is the leadership quality, how to be able to really work in team and then influence decision. I'm basically focusing on the Chinese language because if you look at China, it's one of the fastest growing economy, and in order to be able to fit into the global system, I strongly believe, that's why I'm particularly interested in the Chinese language, in order to be able to communicate very well and then do business with them. From the part of the world I'm coming from, which is Africa, the Chinese language is really growing very fast. One example is Nigeria. It's the Chinese language in their institution over there. They're encouraging their students, graduates over there, to really take up the Chinese language.
The Global Leaders Programme is a great opportunity for students to get the extra skills they need to go straight into the workforce and just be ready for industry. Now that's actually it for today's programme, but please feel free to like and subscribe us on YouTube, and then you can see our latest episode soon.